Hello everyone, week 2, and this is my weekly blurb on what we are going to be focusing on and working on in the somatic meditation. We are going to focus on the face this coming week, and so many of us store a lot of tension in our jaw, our forehead, our eyes, our cheeks. And so I found this a really eye-opening practice, literally, for myself, working on the face. And as it comes to kind of the release work that somatic meditation does, I wanted to briefly touch on trauma cycles. And so a trauma cycle, so there's 2 books that I found extremely helpful learning about trauma work, and one of them is Dr. Peter Levine. The book was In an Unspoken Voice, and Gabor Mate, The Myth of Normal. So those are 2 books that I found extremely helpful when it comes to doing trauma work in comparison with somatic meditation. And so what those 2 books talk about is trauma cycles. And so a trauma cycle would be if you have something that triggers you, that really scares you, and you have all that energy come up, and then you would either mobilize, move away from the threat, whatever, fight, flight, freeze, whatever you're going to do. And then there would be a dissipation of energy. And so if anywhere in that cycle the process gets interrupted, and for most of us who grew up being discouraged to live out our emotions, or were held when you really needed to run away, or there's so many different versions of that where in our society we are not really taught how to live out or express when something happens to us. And so then often we store that experience somewhere in our body. And so storing that can be a different picture for all of us. It's very individual. It can be anywhere in your body. And so that's why we're doing this mapping practice. We're kind of trying to unearth where are our holding patterns, where do we store our traumas, and how can we kind of release what's going on in there to get back to being a whole human being without being held back by all these things that are draining our energy and causing a lot of tension. And so just be gentle with yourself. If you find yourself being moody or going through a bit of an emotional roller coaster, if you find you're twitching in some areas, or you have some trembling, that's perfectly natural and normal, and that means all is well and working. So we are going to have a little blurb each week on how to get comfortable with all that work. And I'm just teaching you from what I have been doing myself, and I've just sort of been at this for a few years, and I found it really helpful to know that the comfort is that it's perfectly normal to feel unnormal, and all the feels and all the things need to be felt through in order to let them go. So I'm really grateful you're along with me for this journey, and I look forward to see you on Monday at 7 with Mapping the Face.